Rosie B here, and welcome back to another video of my channel. Today I'm going to teach you how to make cinnamon rolls because of all the craziness in the world, so that you could do it at home. So the dough ingredients you'll need is 1/2 cup warm water, 2 tablespoons yeast, 2 cups milk scalded, 1/2 cup sugar, 1/2 cup shortening, 2 teaspoons salt, 2 eggs, and 6 to 7 cups flour. So the first thing you need to do is you need to measure 1/2 cup warm water and make sure it's not too hot and not too cold. You just want it warm. And then you need to take 2 tablespoons of yeast and put it in the warm water, which I've already done. So now we've measured 2 cups milk, and now we need to scald. Now we need to put the milk in a pot and put it on the stove, medium heat. And you need to have a parent supervisor. Now they're starting to get some skim, so that means it's done. And another way to tell it's done is there are bubbles around it. Make sure it doesn't boil. Now we need to take our salt, sugar, and shortening and put it in your mixer. And then you want to put your scalded milk over it. Now you need to let the milk cool and kind of let the shortening melt. Now that the milk has cooled off, we need to put in some flour, and then we need to put the eggs in and the little mixture of yeast and warm water. It says 6 to 7 cups of flour, but right now we need to put 1 in, and then we need to put the other ingredients in, and then we do the rest of the flour. Now we need to put the cup of flour in. Now you take your 2 eggs and you pour it in with the flour. And then you take the mixture of water and yeast and put it in. Before I put the rest of the flour in, I want to put another cup of flour. And then I want to mix it. This is my 3rd cup. I'm going to turn it on, and while it's on, I'm going to pour in the flour. Do the same with the rest. Now I'm going to add the rest of my 6th cup and wait until it starts cleaning the sides. Now you can see in the center there's like dough stuck to it, and that means it's not all the way through. Now it's started to clean the sides in the center and on that side. After having it on for a couple of minutes, test it with my finger and see how it's kind of stretching back and forth. That means it's done. Now that the dough is done, we need to spray this bowl, and then we need to put in the dough. Take the dough, and then you want to roll it in the oil, and then you want the oil on top. Now it has saran wrap over it, and we need to set it aside and put a timer on for 30 minutes. So we left it for 30 minutes, and it looks like it's doubled, but we're going to leave it out for another time. While the dough is rising, you want to melt 6 tablespoons of butter. You want to get a pastry brush or a spoon to spread the melted butter on the dough. You want to get some flour, You want to get some cinnamon and sugar, and you want to get some clean white thread. You want to get a rolling pin. You want to get a pan, and you want to spray the pan. Now the dough is ready, and my mom's gonna help me with this part. So she's gonna sprinkle some flour on the area, and then she's gonna take the dough and she's gonna roll it out with the rolling pin. So she's taking out the dough right now. She's putting it on the flour. Now she takes the rolling pin and she rolls the dough. My mom is working towards a rectangle. For the dough is longer, then they end up smaller cinnamon rolls. But if it's wider, then they end up more fat cinnamon rolls. Now I am going to pour the melted butter on the dough. Now we need to spread the butter, and you want to draw this line, and the purpose of this line is so that you don't get butter up above the line. So now I need to spread. Okay, so now we have spread the butter up to this line, and now we need to spread the cinnamon and sugar like the butter, so don't go up this line.
Don't go over this line.
Yeah, don't go over this line. So you can put as much cinnamon as you want. My family likes to do lots of cinnamon so that it's more cinnamony.
And sugar.
And sugary. But if you don't want that, then you can have it less cinnamon. So now my mom starts to roll one of the sides up to that one line. So you want it to roll.
And this can be a little tricky, so you're kind of rolling it and trying to tuck your dough down underneath.
Yeah.
But it's a little tricky and you may need some help doing it. Once you get a few rolls going, then it gets a little easier to just keep it going.
Now on the edge you can start to see a spiral.
And this is where if the dough was wider, you could see how the spiral would be a lot wider, so it'd make a bigger one. Versus if it's a lot longer this way, then the spiral's not as big and they'd be smaller cinnamon rolls. Do you want to explain this end part, James, what we do?
So now you take the end part and you just press it, take it and then fold it onto the spiral.
And because it doesn't have the butter and the cinnamon and sugar, it's now going to stick to the dough. So you can kind of seal it off. So you can kind of see me pinching it into it so that it holds it. Otherwise it would just flip, come open while it's baking. And you don't want that. You don't want your cinnamon roll open. So you want to kind of pinch it along there, not have the butter get in the way. Okay, so now your spiral's all ready.
So now my mom's gonna take her thread. She wants to tuck it under the cinnamon roll, and then you want to crisscross it, and then you want to tighten it, and then that cuts it.
Okay, so J-U.
The end pieces are gonna always look a little funny, so I always flip them upside down like you saw me do on that one. And for right now, I'm just gonna set them onto the pan and then probably rearrange. And you're doing them about an inch, inch and a half thick. If you can tell.
So J-U-S-T-E-S-E-N-K-F-U-I.
So we finished cutting them, and now I'm kind of just rearranging and trying to make, this is the end and it's pretty small, so I want to stick it kind of in between two big ones, but you can tell I've done 4 across and 6 down on this jelly roll pan. And for now I'm just going to kind of flatten them into each other. This part's not really going to affect it much, but we're going to end up letting it sit for a few minutes to rise a little bit more. And we need to turn on our oven and get it preheating. James, what temperature does it need to be at? Do you remember?
375. So now we have let them rise for a little more, and the oven has beeped, and so it's preheated now, so we can put them in the oven to bake.
And I'm just pushing down on the center part because sometimes in the oven, and they still may do it even with this, as they bake, sometimes it pushes up the middle and they pop up and then it looks like this weird little tower. So to help try to prevent that, I just push down before putting them right in the oven, just right in the center mainly, as you can see what I'm doing. Okay, now they're going in the oven for how long, James?
15 to 20 minutes. We put it in for 15 minutes, and then we looked at them, and like they were on the top, they were kind of white and gooey. So we put them in for 5 more minutes, and this is what they look like now.
Nice and golden.
Yeah.
So are they done?
Now that the cinnamon rolls are out of the oven, we need to let them sit and cool. And when they're done cooling, then we can we can make frosting and then drizzle it over the cinnamon rolls. So now we need to make the frosting. And to do that, we need to put 1 tablespoon butter in a bowl, and then we need to put 1 teaspoon of vanilla and about a 1/4 cup of milk. And now we added powdered sugar, and as you can see, it's starting to mix with the liquid. So we need to mix it, and then it probably won't be thick enough because we want it the right consistency. So you might have to add more powdered sugar. So as you can see, we added some more powdered sugar because we want it to be able to drizzle across the cinnamon rolls, so we added some more. So now the frosting is ready, so we need to drizzle it onto the cinnamon rolls.
Getting it all over, especially on the edges. The edges tend to be a little bit more dried out from the oven. It will drip off the pan, so you may have a big mess to clean up, but it's a yummy mess too.
Don't they look beautiful? They are done. And you can let the frosting dry, but if you don't, they're ready to eat. Some people like to have the edges, but I love the middles. It's good. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to JBusyBee and comment down below in the section. Thank you.